I think the other piece that
It's not.
I think the other, yeah, I can talk loud enough. I think the other piece you have to think about is what Shirley said is access to the information in the real world. The other piece is the collaborative tool that it allows the kids. I mean, the kindergartners come with the tool and they sit, you know, in the car in the doctor's office just working this way. As you move yourself up, the tool becomes collaborative, working with your classmates, working with your teacher, working with students in another class, working with students in another school, working with people across the world. So I think the second piece that the tool helps with is the collaborative piece, as opposed to when you and I went to school. We did our paper, turned it in, you waited for the teacher to correct it back, get it back with the red marks, and put it in your locker and go home and never read it, as opposed to what the access, I mean, maybe that was me, maybe you guys read yours and all that, but I had no red marks. So
They have never had any red marks.
But I think the other piece that the tool does is the collaborative piece that's really powerful as you move up the grade levels.
When as we're talking about 21st century learning, creativity, collaboration, and you're looking to use those tools to enhance those skills. I mean, it helps. It's the tool itself doesn't measure the learning.
I think that there's a couple other things I'd like to add. I do think we have to be cautious about how we use the device, because if we go and focus on some of the repetitive drill kind of processes that have shown over time not to be productive, just because it's on an iPad doesn't mean it now is going to be a good thing. But I have seen in kindergarten in particular where students are not able to get their words, you know, they have a hard time getting their words on paper, and using the tool as a device where students can speak into it, they can see their words, their spoken words turn into written words, and then they can turn that and really learn to read through their own stories and their own tools. So I think it's the creative ways that we can use the device to enhance the writing as well as the reading or the math, story problems, how they can explain how to do a story problem on it. So I think we got to really talk about, and Cannon and I were talking about this, what are we going to say to the teachers about what are the reasons that we have these, and what apps are we going to promote or allow or whatever on the devices. So I agree with all that was said here, and I think that's very good.
I can see that if we feel it's a good thing, all of a sudden it's going to jump to a $200,000 investment rather than $51,000. So,
My question more so is, how do you get to $51,000? You only purchased, if you're buying 45, 27K worth of iPads. Something's costing a lot of money somewhere.
Again, included in that is the MacBook Pro, and then there is a MacBook Air that are in there. Those for the teachers. So with those you can create. It allows teachers to create content and push it out to teachers. So they can create their lessons. There's iBooks. It's iBooks Creators, what it is, and you create lessons, and you can create different learning activities and push it out to these devices. And it's a free app that then
But you have to have a MacBook Air in order to do that?
Yeah, to create it. Yeah, no, you exactly. You have to create it on the MacBook Air. It's an option. I mean,
we've already got a laptop. I don't want to see another laptop just for, all the teachers have a laptop for all overheads, and an overhead computer, and they have a laptop computer in each one of those rooms, right?
the smart board and laptop, yes.
And then plus they all have they have a laptop, each teacher.
Yeah.
They have another computer for the overhead for the smart boards.
No.
Do that?
No.
Are they hooking up to their laptop?
What's that?
What laptop are they hooking to?
They only have one laptop, and that's what they're using to project onto the smart and interact with this.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to use MacBook Air in order to utilize these, each one, or just one per group of 5? Is that what it is?
This is five total MacBook Airs. It's a 5-pack.
How does that work if we have 5 each grade level of each school? Say one MacBook Air per school, is that what it is?
basically, that's where we left off in the buildings that had the larger enrollments. We were going to give it to. I mean, we hadn't sat down and figured out brass tacks of that complete rollout because we didn't know where you were going to land on it. So
Still only put about less than 10,000 more out after all that. I mean, 5 MacBook Airs and, I mean, you're only got about 37K. Are these cards costing us an enormous amount, or what's the deal?
No, that's, that MacBook Airs are, they're at 13,000 with that MacBook Airs.
With 5.
Yeah, that's
So
what
these
they're,
goofy there, those would be pretty inexpensive. I mean, a MacBook Pro with everything on it, non-Air, you can get for a couple thousand for top of the line unit.
I can certainly go back and.
Yeah, it's a little goofy. I mean, a MacBook Air, I mean, $1,000, $1,200. MacBook Pro is about $1,500 right now. So my question is still, we're off by about $20-some thousand, so I kind of like to see numbers. I'd like to see more in the hands of the students,
Yeah.
less in the infrastructure at that grade level. I don't think, although collaboration is a great thing, I don't foresee kindergartners collaborating a heck of a lot, nor first graders. But if you give them a resource on there that they can run on there, they can touch the screen, and they're learning their math from a little cute program that's teaching them as they're learning, they don't know that, I'm all for it. But I'd like to see more resources in the school, less the infrastructure of that thing. So,
I mean, it was an option, I mean, that's certainly an option I wanted to.
yeah. Well, let's just go over
Where's
that
that
one.
one?
You can send those to us, and let's see what you got, and we can talk about it. Anybody, anything else on that? Let's go on. Consultant summary update.
Okay, as many of you met with the consultant from Heartland, it was a free service. Each of you had kind of a one-on-one. Right now, they were tentatively planning next week to present. They don't have dates yet, they're still trying to calendar that out. They will have everything ready to present to you guys, just a summary and a report of what some of the recommendations are, what different areas that we're doing well, and some areas that we may want to get looked at and improving. So I will certainly email out when I confirm that date if you're interested in joining. I think
Could they do it at our next meeting
I can ask them, sure.
next month?
That works for everybody, I can certainly ask that.
I think that would be appropriate.
Okay.
I was just curious, did they talk to any teachers when they went here for that? Because they talked about talking to all the stakeholders, and I'm sure teachers is being part of that, but it didn't sound like they were.
No, not at this time, they did not speak to teachers. Just one other item is, we do have the Chromebook that Paul had mentioned in previous months, just to kind of try one, and so we did give it to 2 middle school teachers. They didn't have a lot of time to take a look at it, but they're just kind of going through it and just seeing how their processes, may or may not change, or what does that look like for them, and any impacts or anything. So they are putting it together, a document, just kind of, hey, here are things that, may change or may not change, here are some things that we really like. So I can share that out at some point after Mrs. Markle and I and the teachers get together.
I forgot to bring it tonight.
Oh,
I picked it up Thursday, Friday morning, I guess, and
Android tablet?
the Chromebook.
Oh,
Chromebook.
Okay.
And some positive things about it are that it's small, lightweight, 6.5 hours of battery life. I haven't spent enough time with it to feel, how would I use this as opposed to like a Surface or some other type of device like that.
Well, that would be the question, because the Surface RTs are dumping in price.
Yeah, that's
So eventually you have to look at which one you want to switch over to.
it seems like a nice device. I don't have a real strong feeling either way. More so it was if we were going to continue with a laptop type of look, would that be an option? I just saw recently where they were selling Chromebooks for $178. So those are coming out also.
Everything is, yeah.
So I will get that back to you soon. I'll make arrangements. I guess I can drop it off at the admin building.
Are you still playing with it, Paul, or are you done playing with it?
I'm done investigating it, yes.
Yes, okay. Have you had any chance working with the trackpad on it at all? I'd be interested in your feedback on that.
It was a little different.
Mhm.
You you have to push the whole track
Yeah.
down to select. And so it's, initially I didn't like it, the more I used it, the more I got used to it. But there are some quirks like that that are a
Yep.
little bit strange.
That's what the two teachers are saying. So I just was wondering your feedback. We could talk together about it, so.
Okay, yeah, well, I should probably put a document together of the things that I like and dislike.
All right, we'll save ours till we see you, and then we'll share ours.
I'll show you mine.
All right, I've got a question. What happened to the old computer components and everything from the new laptops coming in, replacing all the old stuff? Where they wind up?
The Toshibas and
All the old desktops, screens, all that good stuff.
we restored, we took out hard drives, we took out memory as much as we could on those, and we have, down in the basement, we stored, many for just spares in case ours start going down. Then the other desktops, actually after the memory and everything was out, we put them in all the remaining desktops that wasn't usable after that. So we saved parts as much as we could, and then actually talked with Ken, and there was nothing left on those, so they recycled them. After that.
Okay, I would more so rather see things sold off. Keeping old hard drives for future use is kind of,
Well, they actually came in handy. We have actually had to replace, I'm glad we did take them out. It's funny, they started going, we've had to replace probably already 5, 6 already monitors as well. So I'm glad we took and saved some for sure.
As long as we have the old desktops still in our schools.
well, that's the thing. I don't make sure we don't have one of those pallets sitting there 5, 6 years later when the PCs have been, replaced. That makes
So
sense.
if you back in Karen's office, then.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, anybody else have any questions, Mr. Chairman? Hearing none,